You've been on the road all day. The sun, a distant memory, has long since dipped below the horizon, leaving the world painted in deepening shades of twilight, purple and inky blue. The path beneath your feet, or perhaps beneath the steady plod of your horse's hooves, is uneven, worn down by countless travelers before you. It's a medieval road, a path that has seen centuries of stories unfold. Your muscles ache with a deep, weary thrum. Every step feels heavier than the last. The air has grown cool, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant wood smoke. The forest that lines the road is thick and dark, its branches like skeletal fingers reaching for the star-dusted sky. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig in the undergrowth, makes you pull your cloak a little tighter. It's not a fearful feeling, just a quiet awareness of being small in a vast, sleeping world. You've been traveling for what feels like an eternity, chasing the last light of dusk until it vanished completely. Your mind has been occupied with the journey, with navigating the ruts and stones, with the simple act of moving forward. But now, in the deep quiet of the night, your thoughts turn to one thing: rest, a warm fire, a soft bed, a sense of safety after a long, hard day. You remember the feeling, don't you? Even now, in our modern world, that late-night drive, the headlights cutting a lonely path through the darkness, the hours stretching on, the hum of the engine a constant companion. Your eyes feel heavy, your shoulders are tight, and all you want is to arrive, to turn the key in a door, to feel the solid floor beneath your feet, to finally let go of the tension of the journey and sink into a space that feels like a sanctuary. The destination becomes a beacon, a promise of peace, and just as you think you might have to make camp under the cold stars, you see it. At first, it's just a flicker, a tiny point of light far down the winding road. You might even blink, wondering if your tired eyes are playing tricks on you, but then it appears again, a little brighter this time. It's a warm, golden glow, soft and inviting against the deep blue of the night. It's a candle in a window. It's a lantern hung by a door. It's an inn. A wave of relief washes over you, so profound it almost makes your knees weak. The weariness that had settled deep in your bones begins to lift, replaced by a quiet, hopeful anticipation. Each step forward now feels lighter, purposeful. The darkness of the woods no longer seems so imposing. The cool night air feels crisp and refreshing instead of chilling. That small, distant light is a magnet, pulling you forward, promising everything you've been yearning for. As you draw closer, the shape of the building emerges from the gloom. It's a sturdy structure of timber and stone, smoke curling lazily from its chimney, a silver ribbon against the night sky. The light spills from mullioned windows, casting long, welcoming rectangles onto the road. You can almost hear the low murmur of conversation, the distant clink of a tankard, the crackle of a hearth fire. These are the sounds of safety, of community, of rest. This isn't a bustling, loud establishment. It's a quiet haven at the end of the day, a place for weary travelers to lay down their burdens. The relief is a physical sensation. It's the loosening of a knot in your shoulders you didn't even realize you were holding. It's a long, slow exhale. You've made it. You are safe. You push open the heavy wooden door. It creaks softly, a familiar, comforting sound. The air that greets you is warm and smells of roasting meat, baked bread, and old, well-seasoned wood. The fire in the great stone hearth is the heart of the room, its flames dancing and casting a warm, flickering light on the faces of the few other patrons. They are quiet, lost in their own thoughts, or speaking in low, hushed tones. They, too, are travelers at the end of their road. There's no loud welcome, just a quiet nod from the innkeeper behind the bar, an acknowledgement that you have arrived and a place is ready for you. You feel your body unwind, layer by layer, as the warmth seeps into your cold limbs. The anticipation you felt on the road now transforms into a deep, profound sense of peace. You don't need to hurry. You don't need to be anywhere else. You are here. Think of that feeling when you finally arrive at your hotel late at night. The quiet hum of the lobby, the soft lighting, the polite and gentle voice of the person at the front desk. That moment when you get your key, ride the silent elevator, and finally open the door to your room. The space is still, clean, and waiting just for you. You drop your bags by the door, the sound echoing slightly in the quiet. You walk over to the window and look out at the city lights, a world away from the journey you just completed. You've reached your sanctuary. The bed looks impossibly inviting, the pillows plump, the blankets turned down just so. This is your small kingdom for the night, a private world where you can finally let go. The journey is over. The striving is done. All that is left is to rest. Back in the inn, you're shown to your room. It's simple, a sturdy wooden bed with a thick, woolen blanket, a small table with a pitcher of water and a candle. The window looks out not on city lights, but on the silent, moonlit forest. The sounds of the common room below are muffled, a distant, gentle hum that only adds to the sense of cozy seclusion. You run a hand over the rough spun blanket. You sit on the edge of the bed, feeling the firm support of the straw mattress beneath you. The silence of the room is a comfort, a soft blanket in itself. It's a silence filled not with emptiness, but with peace. The quiet anticipation you felt has now blossomed into a gentle contentment. There is nothing to do but rest, nowhere to go but into sleep. You prepare for bed slowly, mindfully. Each movement is unhurried. You remove your heavy boots, your travel-stained cloak. You wash your face with the cool water from the pitcher. It feels like you're washing away the dust and weariness of the road itself. As you lie down and pull the heavy blanket up to your chin, your body sinks into the mattress with a sigh of pure gratitude. The flame of the single candle flickers, making shadows dance gently on the walls. Before you snuff it out, plunging the room into a soft, comfortable darkness. Moonlight filters through the window, tracing a silver rectangle on the wooden floor. Outside, an owl calls softly, a lonely, beautiful sound that only deepens the sense of peace. Your mind, which was so busy just a short while ago, begins to quiet down. The thoughts of the road, the worries of the journey, all of it begins to fade, like ripples on a still pond. Your focus narrows to the simple, essential sensations of the present moment. The weight of the blanket, the softness of the pillow, the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your own breath. Each breath in is cool and clean. Each breath out is a release, a letting go. You feel the last remnants of tension melting away from your muscles. Your shoulders relax. Your jaw unclenches. Your brow smooths. You are completely supported, completely safe. The inn is a sturdy fortress around you, holding the dark and the cold at bay. Here, in this room, you are sheltered. You are warm. You are at peace. Your body feels heavy, in the most pleasant way. A comfortable weight that anchors you to the bed, to this moment of stillness. The boundary between wakefulness and sleep begins to blur. Thoughts drift by like clouds in a slow-moving sky, hazy and indistinct. You don't need to hold on to them. You can just let them float by. The quiet murmur from downstairs has faded completely. The entire inn is now asleep, a community of souls, all resting from their journeys. You are part of that quiet company, united in your need for rest and renewal. The only sound is your own breathing, a steady, gentle rhythm, like the soft tide on a calm shore. In and out. In and out. The road is far behind you now. The worries of tomorrow are a distant land you don't need to visit yet. Tonight, there is only this darkness, this quiet, this profound and gentle peace. Allow your mind to drift. Allow your body to sink deeper and deeper into rest. There is nothing left for you to do. You have arrived. You are home for the night. Sleep now. Rest well. The night is deep, the air still and cool. A gentle quiet hangs over the world, a soft blanket woven from starlight and shadow. It's time to let the day fall away, to release its worries and its hurried pace, and to find a place of warmth and comfort. Let my voice be your guide as we journey together into a story, a place built just for rest. Imagine with me a long road winding through rolling hills, under a sky full of stars, so bright they seem close enough to touch. You've been traveling for a long time. The rhythm of your steps, a steady companion on the dusty path. The air carries the scent of pine and damp earth, and the only sounds are the whisper of the wind through the trees and the distant hoot of an owl. You're tired, a deep and honest weariness that comes from a day well spent. a journey up ahead, through a clearing in the woods. You see it, a single point of warm, golden light. It's a beacon in the darkness, a promise of shelter and rest. As you draw closer, the light grows, revealing the shape of a large welcoming inn nestled against the hillside. It's built from sturdy timber and fieldstone, with a gently sloping roof and windows that glow with the soft, flickering light of a fire within. You approach the entrance, a heavy door made of dark, weathered oak, bound with straps of black iron. It looks ancient and strong, as if it has welcomed countless travelers over countless years. There's a large iron ring for a handle, cool to the touch. You take a deep breath, the clean night air filling your lungs, and you pull. The door is heavy, heavier than you expected. It doesn't swing open as you have to put your shoulder into it to give it a steady, firm push. It groans in response, a low, resonant sound that speaks of age and solid craftsmanship. It's the sound of a place that is secure. A place that is safe. As it slowly swings inward, the sound of the wind outside fades, replaced by something much more comforting. A wave of warmth washes over you, carrying the scent of wood smoke, baking bread, and malt cider. The light from within spills out onto the doorstep, inviting you in from the cool night. You step across the threshold, and the heavy door swings shut behind you with a soft, solid thud. The world outside is gone. You are here now, in tis moment, in this place of peace. You find yourself in a large common room. The ceiling is low, crisscrossed with massive wooden beams, dark with age and smoke. The air is warm and still. The source of the light and heat is a magnificent fireplace that takes up nearly an entire wall. A great fire crackles and dances within its stone hearth, sending sparks spiraling up the chimney. The flames cast long, flickering shadows that play upon the walls, making everything seem alive and gentle. The warm glow touches every corner of the room, painting it in shades of orange, gold, and soft brown. The room is filled with the quiet, contented murmur of conversation. There are other travelers here, scattered in small groups, at sturdy wooden tables, or settled into comfortable, backed chairs near the fire. They speak in low voices, their words a gentle hum that blends with the crackling of the logs. No one is loud or boisterous. It's a shared space of quiet companionship, a collective sigh of relief at the end of a long day. You see a traveler near the fire, an old man with a kind face, slowly sipping from a clay mug. A young couple sits at a table in the corner, sharing a loaf of dark bread and a bowl of thick stew. Their conversation a series of soft smiles and nods. A merchant, a heavy cloak draped over the back of a chair, carefully mends a tear in her pack, her movements slow and deliberate. Everyone here is weary, but it's a peaceful weariness. They are strangers, yet they share this moment of rest, this quiet understanding. The innkeeper, a woman with warm eyes and hair tied back in a simple braid, gives you a welcoming nod from behind a long wooden counter. On it sits a round of cheese, a basket of fresh apples, and a steaming pot of something that smells wonderfully savory. She doesn't hurry you. She simply acknowledges your arrival, letting you know that you are welcome to take your time, to shed the dust and chill of the road. You move closer to the fire, drawn by its magnetic warmth. The heat soaks into your clothes, into your very bones, chasing away the last of the night's chill. You find an empty armchair, its wood worn smooth by many years of use, its cushions soft and inviting. As you sink into it, you feel the tension in your shoulders begin to melt away. You let out a long, slow breath you didn't even realize you were holding. The fire pops and crackles, a soothing, rhythmic sound. You watch the flames twist and turn, an ever-changing dance of light and color. It's mesmerizing, pulling your thoughts away from the road behind you and the journey still to come. Right now, there is only the fire, the warmth, and the gentle quiet of the room. Someone has placed a small wooden stool next to your chair, and on it, a simple mug of warm, spiced milk and a slice of honey cake. You didn't ask for it, but it's here, a small, unspoken act of kindness. You pick up the mug, its warmth spreading through your hands. The first sip is sweet and comforting, chasing away any lingering fatigue. The honey cake is soft and moist, a simple, perfect treat at the end of the day. You lean your head back against the chair, closing your eyes for a moment. The low hum of voices, the crackle of the fire, the feeling of warmth on your skin. It all blends together into a perfect lullaby. Each sound, each sensation, is a gentle reminder to let go, to release your hold on the day. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to figure out, no one you need to be. You are simply here, in this safe and quiet haven, surrounded by a gentle, unassuming peace. The common room of the inn holds you, a silent promise that for tonight, all is well. You are sheltered. You are warm. You are at rest. Allow the image of this room to fill your mind. See the glowing embers in the hearth. Feel the heavy, comfortable weight of a wool blanket that someone has gently draped over your lap. Hear to soft, even breathing of the other travelers as they too begin to drift towards sleep. The world of stories is a kind one. It asks nothing of us but to listen, to imagine, and to rest. And this room is the first step into that world. It's a place where you can leave your burdens at the door and simply be. The fire will keep you warm through the night, the sturdy walls will keep you safe, and the quiet will hold you until the morning comes. Let the feeling of peace from this room spread through you, starting from your toes and slowly moving upwards, like a warm, gentle tide. Feel your muscles relax, your mind grow quiet. The journey is over for today. It's time to sleep. It's time to rest. Let the story hold you now. Good night.
It's late. The road has been long, the day even longer, and all you want is a place to rest your head. You push open the heavy wooden door of the inn, the warm, noisy air hitting your face like a wave. The smell of roasting meat, spilled ale, and damp wool fills your senses. Through the haze of pipe smoke, you spot the innkeeper behind the bar, wiping a tankard. You make your way over, weary to your bones, and ask the one question that's been on your mind for the last hour. Do you have a bed for the night? The innkeeper looks you up and down, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. A bed all to yourself. What a novel idea. He gestures vaguely toward the bustling common room. There's floor space near the hearth, he might say, or a spot on the bench if you're quick. You see, the idea of a private room, of a bed that was yours and yours alone, was a luxury most people in the past could only dream of. For the average traveler, sleep was a communal affair, a shared experience in a world that had little concept of personal space as we know it today. So, let's pull up a stool, not for sleep, but to understand what it truly meant to find a place to rest in centuries gone by. Imagine the scene, the great common room of a medieval or Tudor inn is the heart of the establishment. This is where you'd eat, drink, and when the night grew late, this is where you'd sleep. If you were lucky, or perhaps had a few extra coins to spare, you might get a spot on a long wooden bench pushed against the wall. Not comfortable, but at least it was off the cold, dirty floor. For most, the floor was the only option. People would find a patch of rushes or straw, hopefully not too far from the dying embers of the central hearth, and simply lie down. You'd use your own cloak as a blanket, your bag or a rolled-up bit of clothing as a pillow. You'd be sleeping shoulder to shoulder with complete strangers, farmers, merchants, pilgrims, soldiers, all bundled together in the flickering firelight. There was a certain acceptance to it all. Privacy was a privilege, not a right, and the warmth of other bodies was a practical defense against the biting cold of the night. Now, if you were a bit more well off, you might have asked the innkeeper for a place in a shared room. Don't picture a modern hotel room. Picture a large chamber upstairs with several large beds, and when I say large, I mean enormous. These were the great beds of the era, sometimes 10 feet wide, designed to hold multiple people. you wouldn't be sleeping with just your traveling companions. You'd be paying for a space in the bed, not the bed itself. You might find yourself tucked in next to a merchant from another town, a lawyer on his way to court, or anyone else who could afford the slight upgrade from the common room floor. The etiquette was simple. You paid your coin, you got your spot, and you tried not to kick your neighbor. Strangers would undress in front of each other and climb into bed together. It sounds shocking to our modern ears, but it was completely normal. It wasn't seen as improper or strange. It was simply a practical way to accommodate as many paying guests as possible. The concept of a bed as an intimate, private space just didn't exist for most people. And what were these beds like? Forget memory foam or pocket springs. The mattress would have been a large sack, a ticking, stuffed with whatever was available. If you were lucky, it was filled with feathers or soft flock. More likely, it was straw, hay, or even dried leaves. These mattresses, known as pallets, would be laid on a simple wooden frame with ropes crisscrossing to provide some support. Over time, the straw would get compacted, lumpy, and probably infested with fleas, lice, and other unwelcome bedfellows. It was a common saying to sleep tight, which may have referred to tightening the ropes of the bed to make the mattress firmer. And the other part of that saying, don't let the bedbugs bite. That was very, very real advice. Your blanket, if the inn provided one, would be a heavy wool or linen sheet. Often, travelers were expected to use their own cloaks. Personal hygiene standards were also quite different. You'd be sleeping alongside people who hadn't bathed in weeks, wearing the same clothes they'd traveled in all day. The smells, the sounds of snoring and coughing, the sheer proximity to so many other people lit was a full sensory experience. But there was a kind of peace in it, too, a sense of shared humanity. In a world that could be dangerous and uncertain, there was safety in numbers. Huddled together in the dark, everyone was in the same boat, seeking a brief respite from the hardships of the road. There was an unspoken trust, a temporary community formed in the shared space of sleep. You were all just weary travelers, finding a moment of rest before the sun rose, and you went your separate ways. As we move into the 17th and 18th centuries, things began to slowly change, at least for the wealthier classes. The idea of privacy began to take root. Inns started offering more private chambers, though even these might be shared with one or two other people. The truly wealthy, when they traveled, would often send servants ahead to secure the best rooms at an inn, or they would stay at the grand houses of friends and acquaintances. For them, a private bedchamber with a magnificent four-poster bed was a symbol of status. These four-poster beds were not just for show. The heavy curtains that surrounded them weren't just decorative. They served a very practical purpose. They provided an extra layer of insulation against the cold drafts of a large, unheated room. They also offered a bubble of privacy in a world where servants might still be sleeping on pallets at the foot of your bed. The bed became a room within a room, a private sanctuary. But for the vast majority of people, communal sleeping remained the norm for a long time. Even in private homes, families would often share not just rooms, but beds. Children would pile in with their parents, and siblings would share a bed well into their teenage years. Servants in a large house would sleep together in the attic or basement, crowded onto simple cots or straw mattresses. It was until the Victorian era in the 19th century that our modern ideas about sleep and privacy really solidified. The rise of the middle class created a new demand for homes with separate bedrooms for parents, children, and even for individual children. Morality and hygiene became major social concerns. The idea of strangers sharing a bed, once a practical necessity, was now seen as improper and unsanitary. Hotels began to be built with long corridors of identical private rooms, each with a single bed. The revolution of sleep was complete. The bed had finally become the private, personal space we know today. So, as you settle into your own bed tonight, in your own private room, take a moment to appreciate the journey it took to get here. Think of the countless generations who found rest on a floor of straw, on a crowded bench, or tucked in beside a stranger in a giant, shared bed. They weren't seeking comfort or luxury. They were seeking simple rest, a pause in their journey. And in the shared darkness of the inn's common room, surrounded by the quiet breathing of fellow travelers, they found it. It's a peaceful thought, isn't it? That in a world so different from our own, the fundamental human need for rest, for safety, and for a place to lay one's head has always connected us. Sleep well. The night settles in, a deep velvet cloak thrown over the world. Listen closely. Can you hear it? The house is breathing. A gentle creak from the floorboards above, a sigh from the old wooden beams as they settle for the night. It's not a sound of alarm, but a sound of life, the quiet language of a home at rest. Imagine you are a traveler, finding shelter in a cozy, unfamiliar room. The day's journey is over, and now there is only the profound stillness of the night. Outside, a soft wind whispers through the leaves of ancient trees. It's a distant, gentle rush, like the sound of a far-off river. It carries with it the faint calls of the night. Perhaps a lonely owl hooting softly, a question asked to the moon. Or the far-off, almost musical chirp of crickets, a steady, rhythmic pulse that becomes the heartbeat of the darkness. These are not the sounds of the city, not the blare of sirens or the rumble of traffic. These are the ancient lullabies of the earth, sounds that have soothed travelers to sleep for thousands of years. Inside your small, warm room, the fire in the hearth has died down to glowing embers. They cast a soft, orange pulse against the walls, a silent, rhythmic dance of light and shadow. You can hear the faintest pop and crackle from the cooling wood. You pull the thick, heavy blanket up to your chin. It smells of lavender and wood smoke, a comforting, clean scent. The pillow beneath your head is soft, and you let your head sink deeper into its embrace. Your body feels heavy, pleasantly so. Each muscle, tired from the day's travels, begins to release its tension. Starting from your toes, feel a wave of warmth and relaxation spread slowly upward, through your feet, your ankles, your calves. The unfamiliar sounds of the night, the creak of wood, the murmur of the wind, they are no longer strange. They are becoming part of the background, a gentle, rhythmic tapestry of sound that wraps around you like a warm cocoon. The mind, which was so busy during the day, begins to quiet down. Thoughts that once raced and clamored for attention now drift by like lazy clouds in a summer sky. You don't need to grab onto them. You don't need to analyze them. Just let them float past, acknowledging them, and then letting them go. The distant animal calls are now just a soft punctuation in the silence, a reminder that the world outside is alive and dreaming, just as you are beginning to do. You nestle deeper under the covers, finding that perfect, comfortable position. The weight of the blanket is reassuring, a gentle pressure that makes you feel safe and secure. The air in the room is cool and fresh, and with each breath you take, you draw in peace and exhale any remaining worries. Inhale calm, exhale tension, a slow, steady rhythm, in and out. Your breathing deepens, matching the slow, steady pulse of the night. The house continues its quiet conversation. A soft groan from the attic, a gentle rattle of a window pane as the wind gusts for a moment before dying down again. These sounds are no longer distractions. They are a confirmation that you are sheltered, you are safe from the elements. You are in a haven of peace, a small island of tranquility in the vast, quiet sea of the night. The distant murmurs become fainter, more dreamlike. Imagine the moon outside, a silver disk hanging in the inky black sky. Its gentle light filters through the thin curtains, painting a soft, ethereal pattern on the floor. It's a silent guardian, watching over the sleeping world. The stars are scattered like diamond dust across the cosmos, each one a distant, silent witness to your journey into sleep. You feel a sense of connection to this vast, beautiful universe, a small but important part of it all. The boundary between wakefulness and sleep is blurring now. It's a soft, hazy edge, like a shoreline seen through a morning mist. The sounds of the night, the creaking wood, the sighing wind, are weaving themselves into the fabric of your emerging dreams. They are no longer just sounds. They are becoming part of a story, a landscape that your mind is beginning to paint. A story of rest, of peace, of deep, restorative slumber. Your eyelids feel heavy, so very heavy. It feels good to let them close, to shut out the last vestiges of the physical world and turn your attention inward. The darkness behind your eyelids isn't empty. It's a soft, welcoming space. There is no need to fight sleep anymore. It is here, a gentle tide, pulling you out into a calm, peaceful ocean. You can let go now. Let the current take you. Let yourself drift. The rhythmic pulse of the night continues, a steady, unwavering beat. The house breathes, the wind whispers, the embers glow. Everything is in its right place. Everything is as it should be. You are exactly where you need to be, safe, warm, and ready for a night of deep and peaceful rest. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. There is only this moment, this breath, this slow and gentle descent into the wonderful world of dreams. Good night, sleep well. Have you ever sat on your sofa, wrapped in a soft blanket, with a warm drink in your hand, and just felt content? It's a simple pleasure, isn't it? The quiet hum of the heater, the soft glow of a lamp, the knowledge that a hot shower is just a few steps away. We live in a world of almost magical convenience, a world of instant warmth, clean water on tap, and light at the flick of a switch. These small comforts are the backdrop of our lives, so common we barely notice them. But what if they weren't? What if the feeling of being truly warm, truly clean, and truly safe was a rare and precious luxury? Imagine for a moment waking up not to the gentle beep of an alarm, but to the cold seeping through a wool blanket. The air in the room is frigid, your breath fogging in front of you. There's no thermostat to adjust. The only source of heat is a fireplace in another room, a fire that likely died down hours ago and needs to be painstakingly rekindled with flint and tinder and cleanliness. That's an entirely different concept. A bath isn't a daily ritual, but a seasonal event. A laborious process involving heating large cauldrons of water over that same fire. For most of history, this wasn't a hypothetical scenario. This was the daily reality. Our modern lives, with all their stresses and complexities, are built on a foundation of comfort that would seem like an impossible fantasy to our medieval ancestors. The simple act of washing your hands with warm water and soap is a level of hygiene they could only dream of. Let's take a walk back in time, not to the grand battles or royal courts, but into the quiet, everyday life of an ordinary person. The past wasn't a movie set. It was real, it was gritty, and it was profoundly different from our world. Their senses experienced a reality we can barely comprehend. The world was darker. After sunset, the primary source of light for most people was the moon, the stars, or the faint glow of a dying hearth. A candle was a luxury, its tallow precious. Imagine navigating your home in near total darkness, the familiar layout transformed into a maze of unseen obstacles. Our world, by contrast, is flooded with artificial light, banishing the night and extending our days. The world also smelled different. We are so accustomed to sanitized environments, to air fresheners and daily showers. But in a time before modern plumbing and waste management, the air would have been thick with a complex tapestry of odors: wood smoke, livestock, unwashed bodies, rotting food. It wasn't necessarily considered bad back then. It was just the smell of life. Our modern noses, accustomed to constant cleanliness, would be overwhelmed. This isn't to say people were dirty by their own standards. They simply operated within a completely different framework of what was possible and what was normal. They washed their hands and faces, but the full body immersion we take for granted was an infrequent and challenging task. And then there's the quiet, or rather, the lack of it. We might think of the past as a quieter time, free from the roar of traffic and the constant ping of notifications. But it was filled with its own noise, the clamor of a marketplace, the bellowing of animals, the constant hammering of a blacksmith, the cries of street vendors. What was absent was the ability to control your soundscape. There were no headphones to create a private bubble, no double-glazed windows to shut out the world. You were immersed in the sounds of your community, for better or for worse. The kind of deep, chosen silence we can find today was a rare commodity. Think about the food we eat. We have access to a global pantry 24/7. Craving a banana in the middle of winter? No problem. Spices from halfway across the world. They're on the shelf at your local grocery store. For most of history, you ate what was local and what was in season. Winter meant a monotonous diet of preserved foods, salted meats, dried fruits, and root vegetables stored in a cold cellar. The taste of a fresh strawberry in June would have been an explosion of flavor. A truly special event to be savored, not an everyday expectation. The rhythm of life was dictated by the rhythm of the seasons, by the harvest and the hunt, in a way that is almost completely foreign to us now. Our expectations have been fundamentally rewired. We expect solutions to be quick and problems to be solvable. If we get a headache, we take a pill. If a tooth aches, we see a dentist. Minor injuries are treated with antiseptics and bandages. For our ancestors, a simple cut could be a life-threatening event. Infection was a constant, invisible predator. A toothache was an agony to be endured, perhaps for weeks, with no effective relief. They lived with a level of pain and uncertainty that we have largely engineered out of our existence. They were tough, not by choice, but by necessity. Their resilience was forged in a world that offered very little in the way of a safety net. This isn't about romanticizing the past or denigrating the present. It's about perspective. It's about recognizing the incredible inheritance of comfort and security we all share. The next time you feel a pang of frustration because the Wi-Fi is slow or your food delivery is late, take a second. Think about the feeling of a truly warm bed on a cold night. Think about the simple magic of clean, running water. These aren't just conveniences. They are triumphs of human ingenuity built over centuries. Understanding this history doesn't make our modern problems disappear, but it can reframe them. It can instill a sense of profound gratitude for the small, often invisible comforts that make our lives possible. The world our ancestors knew was harder, but it also held a different kind of beauty. The joy of the first spring thaw, the taste of a rare piece of fruit, the relief of a fire on a winter's night. These experiences were perhaps more potent because of their scarcity. We've traded that intensity for a baseline of consistent comfort. So, the next time you turn on a light, or run a hot bath, or enjoy a meal with ingredients from across the globe, take a moment to appreciate it. You are living in a palace of comfort that kings and queens of old could only dream of. Acknowledge the quiet, incredible luxury of your everyday life. It's a legacy, thousands of years in the making, and being mindful of it can be a source of calm and contentment in our own busy, complicated, and wonderfully comfortable world. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this reflection, consider following for more thoughts on our amazing world. Imagine for a moment that you are not in your own bed. The room is not your own. You are lying on a pallet of straw, or perhaps a simple cot in a large, dimly lit hall. Around you, shrouded in the soft glow of a dying fire, are the slumbering forms of strangers. A merchant, his wares securely bundled beside him, snores softly. A pilgrim, clutching a worn wooden bead, murmurs a prayer in her sleep. A soldier, his sword and armor resting just within arm's reach, breathes deeply, finally at peace after a long day's march. There are no locked doors here, no private rooms. There is only this shared space, a temporary sanctuary from the darkness outside. In this era, long before our modern notions of privacy, this was the norm. Whether in a roadside, in a monastery hospice, or a traveler's caravansary, people from all walks of life would come together at the end of the day, united by the simple human need for rest and safety. What must it have been like to entrust your safety to the presence of strangers, to close your eyes and drift into the vulnerability of sleep, surrounded by people whose names you do not know, whose stories are a mystery? There's a profound, unspoken trust in that act, a belief, perhaps, in a fundamental decency, a shared understanding that the night is for rest, not for harm. The rules are unwritten but universally understood. You respect each other's space. You keep your voice low. You do not disturb the peace. It's a fragile truce, a nightly pact of coexistence. Let your own breathing sync with the imagined rhythm of this room. The gentle rise and fall of chests, the occasional cough or sigh, the crackle of the embers in the hearth. This is a soundscape of pure humanity, stripped of all pretense. In the shared vulnerability of sleep, everyone is equal. The rich merchant and the poor pilgrim are just two souls seeking refuge from the cold. The battle-hardened soldier is just a man, tired and needing to mend. As you lie here, listening, you might begin to weave stories for these silent companions. The merchant, what does he trade? Spices from a distant land, their scent clinging faintly to his clothes. Fine silks that will adorn a lady in a far-off city. You imagine his journey, the dusty roads, the shrewd negotiations, the longing for his family back home. And the pilgrim, where is she going? To a holy shrine, seeking a miracle or giving thanks for one. Her face, even in sleep, looks etched with determination and faith. You can almost feel the weight of her journey, not just in miles, but in the hopes and prayers she carries in her heart. The soldier, what battles has he seen? Does he dream of home, of a quiet life he hopes to one day return to? Or do his dreams replay the clash of steel, the shouts of men? Tonight, at least, he has found a moment of quiet. His hand rests near his weapon, not out of aggression, but out of instinct, a habit forged by a life of vigilance. These shared spaces were a microcosm of the world, a temporary community formed and dissolved with the rising and setting of the sun. Friendships, however fleeting, might be kindled over a shared meal before bed. Information was exchanged, news from the capital. Warnings of bandits on a certain road, the price of grain in the next town. It was the original social network, powered by word of mouth and the necessity of human connection. There was a routine to it all. As dusk fell, travelers would trickle in, weary from the road. They would tend to their animals, share a simple meal of bread and stew, and find their spot for the night. The innkeeper would move about, a silent guardian of the space, ensuring the fire was banked and the doors were barred against the true dangers that lurked outside the walls. The air would be thick with the smells of wood smoke, sweat, damp wool, and perhaps the faint aroma of the evening's meal. These are the scents of life, honest and unfiltered. And as the last candle was snuffed out, a deep quiet would descend, punctuated only by the symphony of sleep. Allow your mind to drift in this ancient quiet. Feel the warmth of the collective, the subtle security that comes from knowing you are not alone in the dark. In our modern world, we often seek solitude. We build walls and lock doors to create our private sanctuaries. But there is a different kind of peace to be found in this shared vulnerability. A reminder that, at our core, we are social creatures who have relied on each other for survival and comfort for millennia. The unspoken rules of the night fostered a sense of order. You didn't stare, you didn't pry. You offered a nod of acknowledgement, a shared understanding of the traveler's code. This quiet respect was the currency of the road. It ensured that this fragile ecosystem of trust could function, night after night, in countless inns across the land. Think of the sounds, not just the breathing, but the creak of the old wooden building settling, the distant hoot of an owl, the rustle of straw as someone shifts in their sleep. These are not disturbances. They are part of the lullaby of the night. Sounds that confirm the world is still turning, that you are safe within its embrace. Let go of the day's worries. Let them dissolve into this historical tapestry. Your own concerns, your to-do lists, your anxieties, they are but a whisper in the long history of human rest. For centuries, people with fears and hopes just like yours have laid their heads down in rooms just like this, entrusting their well-being to the quiet contract of the shared night. The fire in the hearth is now just a bed of glowing red embers. The light is faint, painting the room in soft shadows. The faces of the sleepers are calm, their features smoothed over by dreams. In this moment, there are no titles, no hierarchies, just a gathering of souls, adrift on the vast ocean of sleep. Feel the tension, leave your own body, let your shoulders relax, your jaw unclench. Breathe in the peace of this shared space. Breathe out any remaining stress. You are a part of this silent, temporary community. You belong here, in this moment of collective rest. The night is long and deep and safe. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. Just be here, now, and sleep. Rest well. The world begins to melt at the edges, doesn't it? As the day gives way to the gentle embrace of twilight, and the last of the sun's golden rays fade from the window pane. It's that beautiful, liminal space between waking and dreaming, a soft, hazy borderland where reality softens and the mind is free to wander. The candle on the nightstand, its flame once a steady, bright beacon, now flickers and dances, casting long, wavering shadows across the room. Each flicker is like a slow, rhythmic breath, pulling me deeper into a state of serene contemplation. The flame shrinks, its golden heart pulsing, a tiny sun setting in a sea of wax. It's a quiet performance, a final, graceful bow before the curtain of darkness falls completely. My thoughts, once so structured and clear, begin to unravel like threads from a well-worn tapestry. They drift and float, untethered from the anchors of logic and time. I'm not quite asleep, but I'm no longer fully awake. It's a delicious state of being, a gentle descent into the subconscious. The amber glow of the streetlights pools on the damp cobblestones, creating a path of liquid gold. The air is cool and clean, carrying the scent of rain and damp earth. I remember the echo of my own footsteps, the only sound in the vast, quiet expanse. It was a city I knew, yet it felt entirely new, a secret world revealed only to those who wander in the lonely hours. It's the same feeling of quiet discovery I have now, exploring the landscapes of my own mind as the world sleeps. These memories blend and merge, creating a dreamscape that is both familiar and fantastical, a collage of moments lived and moments imagined. And then, slowly, imperceptibly at first, comes the first hint of dawn. A faint, pearlescent light begins to seep into the edges of the darkness. The night is not over, but its reign is ending. A new day is being born, and I am here, floating in the quiet space in between. A witness to the slow, beautiful surrender of night to morning. The first light of dawn is a whisper, a delicate brushstroke of gray and lavender against the deep indigo canvas of the night sky. It's a promise, not yet fulfilled, but certain. The world outside my window is still cloaked in shadow, but the quality of the darkness has changed. It's less absolute, softened by the approaching day. The birds haven't started their chorus yet. There is a profound stillness, a sacred pause before the world awakens. It's as if the earth itself is holding its breath, waiting. In this serene quietude, my mind continues its gentle drift. The train journey returns, but this time, I'm watching the sunrise from my seat. The first rays of sun spill over the horizon, painting the clouds in hues of fiery orange and soft pink. The light catches the dew on the fields, turning them into a carpet of diamonds. The world outside the window is waking up, and I am a silent observer, part of the scene, yet separate from it. The feeling is one of profound peace, of being exactly where I am supposed to be. There is no need to rush, no destination to reach, only the simple, perfect beauty of the moment unfolding. The image dissolves, replaced by the memory of a misty morning by a lake. I was wrapped in a blanket, a warm cup of tea cupped in my hands. The water was like glass, perfectly still, reflecting the soft, diffused light of the hidden sun. Mist rose from the surface in ghostly tendrils, dancing and swirling in the cool air. The only sound was the gentle lapping of water against the shore, a soft, rhythmic shushing that calmed the soul. I remember feeling a deep connection to the natural world, a sense of belonging that transcended words. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated tranquility, a feeling I can almost touch now as I lie here, suspended in this dreamlike state. These moments, these fragments of peace, are the treasures I carry within me. They are the anchors in the storm, the quiet spaces I can retreat to when the world becomes too loud. They remind me that beauty and serenity are always available, if only we take the time to notice. As the light in the room grows stronger, pulling me gently from the depths of my reverie, I hold on to these feelings. The boundaries between my dreams and my memories have blurred completely. Was I on a train, or by a lake? Or was it all a beautiful fabrication of a mind at rest? It doesn't really matter. The peace they brought was real. The dawn is no longer a whisper. It is a soft, steady hum, and the world is beginning to stir. The room is now filled with a soft, ethereal light. The sharp edges of the furniture are still softened, but their forms are becoming clearer, more defined. The darkness has retreated to the corners, a final, lingering remnant of the night. Looking out the window, the sky is a masterpiece of pastel colors. The deep blues have given way to shades of rose, peach, and a pale, luminous yellow near the horizon, where the sun is preparing to make its grand entrance. It's a slow, majestic procession, a daily miracle we so often take for granted. Each morning offers this gift, a fresh canvas, a new beginning. My body feels heavy and relaxed, yet my mind is clear and calm. The journey through the half-sleep landscapes has been restorative, like a gentle cleansing of the soul. I feel a sense of quiet optimism, a readiness to embrace the day, not with a jolt of energy, but with a calm, centered spirit. The frantic pace of life seems distant, an abstract concept that has no power in this tranquil moment. Here, there is only the gentle unfolding of the morning, the soft light, the quiet air. I think of other dawns in other places, a sunrise over a desert, the sand dunes glowing like embers, the first light touching the peaks of snow-capped mountains, turning them a brilliant, blinding white, a misty sunrise in a forest, the light filtering through the canopy in golden shafts, illuminating the mossy ground. Each memory is a testament to the planet's enduring beauty, its capacity for creating moments of breathtaking wonder. These are the images that fuel the spirit, that remind us of the magic that exists just beyond our doorstep and within our own memories. They are a source of strength, a wellspring of peace to draw from throughout the day. This time, just before the world fully wakes, is a precious and private sanctuary. It's a time for reflection, for gratitude, for simply being. It's a reminder that we don't always need to be doing, striving, or achieving. Sometimes, the most productive thing we can do is to be still, to breathe, and to allow ourselves to be filled with the simple, profound beauty of the present moment. The first bird begins to sing, a clear, sweet note that cuts through the silence. It's a signal that the day has truly begun. Another joins in, and then another, until the air is filled with their joyful, exuberant chorus. The world is awake, and so am I, renewed and at peace. Thank you for sharing this quiet journey with me. May your day be filled with moments of peace and simple beauty. Don't forget to find your own quiet moments. Follow along for more journeys into tranquility. The soft morning light filters through the waxed linen of the window, painting pale stripes across the wooden floor. You stir, slowly coming back to the world from the depths of sleep. The air is cool and smells faintly of wood smoke and dried herbs from the inn's kitchen downstairs. For a moment, you just lie there, wrapped in the rough-spun wool blanket, listening. The sounds are gentle, a distant rooster crowing, the soft murmur of voices from below as the innkeeper and his family begin their day, the quiet creak of the floorboards as you shift your weight. There's a sense of profound peace in this moment, a quiet stillness before the day truly begins. You stretch, feeling the pull in your muscles, the pleasant ache of a body that has walked many miles and rested well. The straw-filled mattress rustles beneath you. It's a simple bed in a simple room, but it provided a sanctuary, a safe harbor from the road. You sit up and swing your legs over the side of the bed, your bare feet meeting the cool, worn wood. Across the room, your belongings are neatly piled. A leather pack, a heavy cloak, sturdy boots, still dusted with the dirt of yesterday's travels. Everything you own, everything you need, is right there. It's a comforting thought, this simplicity. You rise and walk to the small wash basin, pouring cool water from a clay pitcher. The shock of the cold water on your face is invigorating, washing away the last remnants of sleep. As you dry your face on a coarse linen towel, you look at your reflection in the small, polished metal mirror hanging on the wall. The face looking back is a traveler's face, sketched with the sun and wind, but with clear, rested eyes. You begin the familiar ritual of packing. It's a practiced, mindful process. Each item has its place. The water skin, the small pouch of coins, the half-eaten loaf of bread wrapped in cloth, the worn map that has guided you this far. There's no rush. This is a moment to gather not just your physical belongings, but your thoughts and intentions for the day ahead. What new paths will you walk? What sights will you see? Who might you meet along the way? The possibilities stretch out like the road itself, a ribbon of potential unwinding before you. You pull on your boots, lacing them tight, the leather firm and supportive around your ankles. They are old friends, these boots, carrying you faithfully over countless miles of cobblestone, forest path, and open field. Standing up, you sling your pack over your shoulder, feeling its familiar, reassuring weight settle against your back. You take one last look around the small room, a silent thank you to this temporary home for the rest it provided. Then, you open the door and step out into the hallway. The smell of baking bread and brewing ale now stronger, pulling you towards the new day. It's a feeling that transcends time, isn't it? That quiet morning ritual. Perhaps for you, it's not a medieval inn, but a modern hotel room. The light doesn't filter through waxed linen, but through the gap in heavy blackout curtains. The floor isn't worn wood, but soft carpet. The sounds aren't a distant rooster, but the gentle hum of the air conditioner and the muffled rumble of city traffic far below. You wake in a vast, comfortable bed, tangled in crisp, clean sheets. You lie there for a moment, enjoying the silence, the feeling of being cocooned from the outside world. Instead of a clay pitcher, there's a sleek coffee maker on the counter, waiting to brew a hot, fragrant cup that will sharpen your senses. The wash basin is porcelain. The water runs hot or cold with the turn of a handle, and the towel is fluffy and white. Your belongings might be in a suitcase or a backpack, zipped and organized. Your smartphone lies on the nightstand, a portal to the world, holding your maps, your messages, your plans. The ritual is the same though. the slow gathering of self, the mindful packing of what you need for the day, the quiet contemplation of the hours ahead, a business meeting, a day of sightseeing, a journey home. Whether you're lacing up leather boots or slipping on sneakers, the feeling is universal. It's the feeling of a fresh start. It's the gratitude for a safe place to rest, for a moment of peace before stepping back into the flow of the world. It's the quiet anticipation of what lies ahead on your own unique road. This simple act of waking, gathering, and setting out is a thread that connects us all, a timeless rhythm of rest and journey, journey and rest. And now, as your own day comes to a close, it's time to find that rest once more. Let go of the road you traveled today. Put down the pack, whether it was filled with worldly goods or the burdens of the mind. The journey is done for now. The inn is waiting. Your own safe harbor is here, ready to welcome you. Let the gentle rhythm of your own breath be the only sound you focus on. Feel it moving in and out, a slow, steady tide. With each exhale, release the dust of the road. Let go of the conversations, the decisions, the hurried pace. Let it all drift away like footprints washed from the sand. Imagine yourself in that quiet room again. The world outside is dark and still. The moon is a silver coin in the sky. All is well. You are safe. You are warm. You are comfortable. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, in this moment of perfect peace. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mattress. It's a welcome weight, the comfortable heaviness of a body that is ready for deep, restorative sleep. Let your muscles soften and release. Start with your toes, letting all the tension dissolve. Feel that wave of relaxation move slowly up through your feet, your ankles, your calves. Let your legs become heavy and limp. The relaxation flows into your hips, your stomach, your lower back, untying any knots of stress from the day. Your whole lower body is now deeply relaxed, anchored in comfort. Feel your chest rise and fall gently with your breath. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears, releasing the weight they've been carrying. Allow this soothing calm to travel down your arms, through your elbows and wrists, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Your hands are soft and open. Your neck is free of tension. Your jaw is unclenched. The small muscles around your eyes are smooth and at ease. Your mind, which journeyed so far today, can also come to rest. Thoughts may still drift by, like stray clouds in a clear night sky. Don't try to fight them. Just observe them without judgment and let them float on by. Your only task is to rest. Your only destination is sleep. The road will be there tomorrow. New adventures, new challenges, new joys will await you in the morning light. But for now, the journey is over. The door to the inn is closed. You are home within yourself in this sanctuary of stillness. Gratitude fills your heart for the day that has passed and for the deep, healing rest that is now embracing you. Let the darkness be a soft blanket. Let the silence be a lullaby. Drift now, traveler. Drift into a peaceful, profound sleep. Good night.